All right, all right, all right. Yo, we got some folks in the chat. What's happening? What's up? What's up? Let's turn that
Hello.
down. Hello. What's happening?
Not much.
Not much. We're
It's
here.
Friday and tomorrow's Saturday, which means Chelsea plays.
It's time. It's finally time to get back to some Prem action. We've had some good times in the Champions League. Maybe not the best times. We'll talk about it. First of all, welcome. There's a couple folks up here in the YouTube chat. What's up with you guys? Some folks over on Instagram. It's Matt and Alexis. You are now tuned in to the Starter Bench live stream. It is a fun Chelsea themed live stream where us true blue fans of the team over in London get to talk about our squad in a very fun way, an interactive way. And you guys get to go and scan this QR code here and interact with us and participate in our live surveys as we talk about our team weekly. We do this every Fridays, guys, so make sure to tap in, make sure to subscribe if you haven't. But just want to say what's up. We see some folks here on YouTube. What's up with you, Alexis? What's happening?
Not much. I'm just ready for the weekend. Like, I was talking to one of my friends today, and I'm like, I just can't wait for it to be Saturday.
It's time.
It's every week. Every week. I just can't wait for the weekend where
every
I just
week.
watch soccer.
Yes. All morning. Enjoy your time.
Yeah.
And your mood depends on 11 men and a coach and how he sets up those 11
right.
men.
And my weekend is determined by how Chelsea does.
Exactly. Well, here we are. How is Chelsea doing? First of all, we got some topics for today.
Yes.
We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to try to keep it short. We got a survey, but we got some heavy hitter topics. You want to go ahead and let us know what we chatting about today?
Yes, guys. Thank you all for being here today. And got some important stuff to hash out. Yeah. What are we talking about? 1, is Maresca out? 2, and Tosin liabilities. Garnacho in.
Maresca out, Garnacho in.
Yes. Can Cole Palmer save us? And then lastly, is Delap our number 9? So we're going to hash those things out. But before we even do that, we're going to have to talk about our Champions League game.
Let's talk about Karabag real quick. Because, again, they used to say...
The comments talking about getting quacked by... yeah. They're like, we got quacked.
We got Kara whacked.
Yeah, Kara quacked. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. It was something that was supposed to be an immediate win, an easy win for us. We came with an okay lineup. I don't think it was horrible.
No, I don't think our lineup was horrible, but putting out a weaker team and then having to sub on our starters isn't the goal.
That's not the goal
at all. So it's quite unfortunate that we have to bring on Caicedo and Enzo, and they don't get to rest because our other players aren't performing and they're just squad players and they're not ready to compete.
Right.
That's really frustrating. Is that it's almost like, obviously Isak's hurt right now, but it would be nice to be swapping an Ekatike and Isak where you're like, hey, either one is actually fine and just matters who's playing. And I think with all of our positions, we don't have an equal level swap.
I agree with that. Yeah. And, Liverpool, it's a funny one to bring up because even though they're in a little bit better form, they're a little off too. I don't know if it's better to bring off Ekatike for Isak either, if he's healthy or not in that current lineup. But I agree with you. I will say we had to bring on Caicedo because Romeo Lavia picked up yet another injury. So that was more of like unfortunate than just bad play. But to your point, it's just kind of like we go into these games, it becomes soft, and then it's kind of like, all right, put on a lineup that actually would win something. And we haven't won enough just regularly to be stretching our lineup that time.
Exactly. To be that, like, I understand the rest because they need it, but like, I don't think we're doing that good that we can just throw out any lineup.
Yeah, we can't just put something.
No. And then also, George as our striker is not the goal at all. At all. And I mean, he's not he doesn't really give us much on the field. We do need a striker. I don't want someone who isn't a true 9 having to come in. I would rather have you, to be honest.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Look, and this is where we have like a lot of similar thoughts, but a lot of different approaches to this. And my only thought for George is he's doing what we have him in the team to do. He's the one who comes into these smaller games, these League Cup games, these Carabao. Well, no, we're not supposed to. Yeah, Carabao
Champions League game.
Yeah, he did start during a Champions League game, but that's just for lack of, like you said, lack of options. But he's got goals this season. You know who he has more goals than? Delap, Guiu.
Yeah.
You know, like he's so.
I don't know. For a Champions League game that's going to be more physical, I don't see George fitting in well. I would have preferred to see Buenanote from the start and just put João up top.
I agree with that too. I agree with that. I don't know why we're like so tentative on Buenanote. He's kind of like this extra player that we have who really hasn't put, I mean, he hasn't done anything spectacular, but he hasn't put a foot wrong either. So I'm just kind of like.
That's why I don't know when you put in someone like George, in my head, it's like, okay, where are we expecting the goals to come from?
You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's frustrating to see, especially in a Champions League game.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think anything was inherently wrong with the squad. The squad should have been able to do enough given our opponent, but they weren't. And then we had to bring on our starters.
Now the squad, I would say the squad as a whole did okay. The center backs really let us down yet again. So we'll talk about that more and more. But like just for that game specifically against Karabakh, it's just kind of like, this is in the bag. We got some goals. You know, we have some momentum. We have the dominating possession. Yeah. Just like, can we get a clean sheet? Can Maresca field a team that can get a clean sheet?
Can we get a clean sheet, which again was avoidable
for sure. And
the good news, the only good news is other teams seem to do poorly when we do poorly. Barcelona tying as well was helpful. That's the good thing, is like when we do poorly, somehow other teams do poorly as well that same week.
Which I'm cool with, and like I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and maybe I'm a little bit of a hater, but like Barcelona's in the mud a little bit. They've got better players pound for pound than us. But if we're talking about our center backs, even compared to theirs, like they have not only are their individual defenders not the ones, but then they also play this high line that's being figured out very easily. And hopefully Maresca, when we play them in the championship, will figure out how to exploit that. But like strategy wise, Barcelona in the mud. For us, it's just players and availability right now, at least. I don't know. And we're going to talk about it because I know you have some thoughts about Maresca, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad that not every team is just running past us when we go and tie a game we shouldn't tie or get dragged through the mud. So
yeah,
something to say about it. We're going to go ahead and get started with this survey and get started with these big topics because I want to hear what you have to say about Maresca for real. For those watching in, come tap in. You can see the QR code up there to the right. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I just go to my camera app. If you're watching on your phone, you can also look. My thing says iPhone has not enough storage. That's wild. But
after the
terabytes of footage that I'm trying to do, but there it is. This is what I do. I just scan this QR code right here. You can also screenshot it if you want. But come tap in. We're going to talk about these teams, these players, and let's see who you would rather start. But before we get into even starting or benching players, let's get into the person who's making those decisions. Let's do that first and foremost. So we're going to get this started. Come on. We're going to keep the QR code up, and you guys can tap in whenever you want to. To your point, this is what we have going. This is your topic. And I don't know if I'm ready for this quite yet, but this is all what Alexis is saying now. Are we in Maresca out territory right now?
Me personally, I wasn't. I actually wasn't in that territory, and I was trying to back him because I'm like, I appreciate that we're winning trophies and things like that. I think the inconsistency does come down to our youth, but also it's very inconsistent lineups. My thing is, the moment we start to get any sort of chemistry in that back line, he decides to switch it, which I do not understand. Yeah. My thing is, why aren't you playing Achimpong? Like, why? What are these substitutions? The timing of them as well with our momentum, it just doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
to me, his substitutions don't show he's trying to win the game. It shows a rather like safe approach. And like honestly, it just feels like he's trying things each game, like trying things versus kind of seeing which players have a bit of chemistry. Cause I think that's where we work best, when it's like the players playing alongside each other have that chemistry. But when you're continuing to rotate positions just because players can versus you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
he's just
versus it being
rotating
effective.
because he's like, well, they can do that. When it's like, me personally, I would love to know who our right back is, who our left back is, and just I don't know. Rotating players just because they can, I think costed us. Specifically, I thought in the Tottenham game, I thought James did quite poorly, in all honesty, and that's because you have him playing in the mid alongside Caicedo.
Yeah. It's funny. It's that, again, against teams that have just a slightly big enough name, or teams who have won some bigger competitions, he always throws Reece in that midfield and kind of switches things up. I agree. So there's two sides to this. I agree with you. I don't trust these selections that this manager's making. I just don't. I don't understand what he said, what he's trying to do. But at the same time, I do see that often he is trying to manage these injuries, right? He's managed Reece very well in terms of like, there's been some frustrating games and I'm like, why don't we just put Reece James in? Isn't he healthy? And it's like, let's get him to the point. And again, we've seen if we just kind of throw players in and just hope that, you know, they're healthy, they're back, then we get a Romeo Lavia situation where that happens. You know, we also have some other injuries.
That must be his own training. Like,
now you're blaming the manager's training?
No, not the manager's
okay.
training.
Lavia.
That's him as a player, his training.
Yeah, for sure.
That's him. Like, I don't know what your rehab looks like. I don't know, like, that begs to question. It's like, if this is your 10th injury, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what is your rehab looking like? No, I don't know.
What is your rehab looking like? Like, what are you eating the right things? Are you getting sleep? Are you 100%.
Well, yeah, like your athletic trainer is giving you things to do. Like, what does that look like? Are you getting rest? Are you, like, there's so many things that play a role. And if you are getting injured that much, it begs to question like your training habits and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think my biggest issue with it is it's too many. Like, you remember that stint?
Exactly.
Arsenal used to have all the injuries all the time. You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like they're doing something wrong in their training staff, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when Jose Mourinho, you know, there's a big old story with Jose firing our trainer, who ended up buying a team and becoming a billionaire. But that's that's for a story for a different time. but essentially it was because she like took Hazard off, and he was like, no, like, you don't make the rules, I make the rules.
Okay.
And
Who's the girl?
There's an argument. Yeah, the woman trainer. I can't remember her name at this point, but it was one of those like questionable times where she came on the field and he, as the coach, was like, no, like, you need to come to me before you just start yanking our players or telling them they can't play or whatever. And though I always believe, like, look, go for the safety of the players, I also believe that you need to hold your training staff accountable. Like, look, we can't be having these injuries. We can't be having this happen. So, you know.
Yeah, and I think especially in this day and age in the Premier League, like, they are quite serious. Like, even we saw what's that guy? Van Heck. No, who was the guy who's on Tottenham? He literally got blasted with a ball and they took him out. Like, they were like, "Oh, you've got a concussion."
Oh, that was Berghaus. Was that not Berghaus? Yeah, the blonde kid.
The blonde guy, yeah.
Yeah. I keep.
So it's like they're really serious about those things. And then also there was a guy in Nottingham Forest last year where it's like, had they put the offside flag up, like, he probably wouldn't have gone for that ball.
He wouldn't have sprinted and stretched. Yeah, there's always those situations.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I understand the managing the players, but like, these substitutions are killing our game.
They suck.
The only time that they helped us was actually in the Liverpool game when we won. But it's like, who are you starting and benching, Maresca? Like, that is the question.
Yeah. And it proves every time. And I don't know if he's trying to prove that he's a good manager by changing things at halftime and then us playing a little bit better second half, because that's been a little bit of a theme for some things, but like start off with a lineup that's impactful enough that we don't have to do all that.
Exactly.
It's tough.
I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know. I felt like this last year in the meetings when people started to ask him like, "Hey, where do you see us as a team?" Like when we were in second place in December last year of like, "Hey, are you going to fight for the title?" He pretty much was like, "No, we don't plan to do that." And the players also as well. And it's like, dang, is that Chelsea Football Club right now?
Yeah.
You're just trying to protect yourself with that, which I understand. I understand our youth, and clearly we can see the inconsistencies. But like, I think I just want a winning mindset a little bit.
I'm with you.
Because we're in the Champions League this year.
And to that point, I will also say that I would love for somebody to give him the question like, yo, are we going for top 4 this year? Or are we trying to win the Prem? Because I don't want to hear last year's statements. Like we need to be elevating from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So right now in the survey, obviously we've put Thomas Tuchel there. And like in the absence of Tuchel, it still seems like Maresca, out of the last 5 managers we've had in the last 5 years, is still kind of top. Let me read you some stats just to give some context to this, because I agree that Maresca's decision-making, it's starting to be put in question, just like you are. So
because the thing is, if we want to see proper Chels, the old Chels with like Lampard and Terry and all that, if we want to get that back, which I think Enzo Maresca has done a great job kind of paving that way, I do think eventually we'll need a stronger manager, in my opinion. So I don't want to discredit what he's doing because I think he's getting us back in there. But I think especially with this youth, I want a stronger manager.
So you're saying we're not winning Champions League, we're not winning the Premier League with an Enzo Maresca?
I don't think so.
Yikes. So the way I kind of posited this, and this is probably not the best way, is to kind of look back over the last 5 years and think about where we've come, right? And so Frank Lampard, who came before Thomas Tuchel, 84 matches, 44 wins, 17 draws, 23 losses. So he had actually a 52 win percentage. And we know, eye test, he was not the one.
Right.
Frank was not the one. Then Thomas Tuchel comes in, 100 matches, 60 wins, 24 draws, 16 losses, a 60% win percentage, comes in and does better than Lampard, but most importantly, wins that Champions League that year we come. And then he's unceremoniously kicked out. We get new management. There's all those things. Tuchel is the one who got away for us.
Exactly. He's kind of like Nuno with Nottingham Forest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like we really should have given him a chance. Nobody will ever remember. But to that point, I'm going to skip over Pochettino and Potter because we already know what that was. And there's nothing I can say about that. But to that point, Maresca, who has played 79 matches, we have 50 wins, 15 draws, 14 losses.
Okay.
63.3%. He actually has a better win percentage than Thomas Tuchel. Again, less games.
With less games, yeah.
With less games. But thus far. So it's kind of like when we're even comparing him to the guy who won us the Champions League, he's been able to take this team, which is probably, I won't say a little less formed, but because, Tuchel basically took our academy team to the Champions League, plus Kai Havertz and some others. But he's got kind of a less formed team, and he's been able to win games and win enough. Now, these ties and these losses are still just frustrating because we shouldn't be tying and losing to Sunderland and tying Karabag and whatnot. But here we are.
Yeah, the stats don't lie. And again, I think he's paving a good path for us. But right now, I'm having trouble seeing the vision.
You can't see Maresca's vision. We can't see it. I am not mad at that. All right, well, let's move on because though Maresca has a lot to be responsible for, the players have to be responsible for themselves. And we've got
100%. We need that leader on the field.
So we need that leader on the field.
That leader in the defensive line.
And we need defense on the field. And that's like the biggest and most troubling thing. So we're moving on. Again, if you want to come tap in and participate, we got a QR code right here that you can scan. We're starting to get real thin when we talk about center backs. Your headline honestly is, can we trust Tosin and Hato? Are like they the biggest liabilities? But I'm going to say out of our lineup of center backs who are currently healthy, all of them have shown some treacherous traits in the back line and proven to be liabilities. So
I think except for Achimpong, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would prefer. So I thought it was interesting against Tottenham to do Fofana and who was it?
We did Fofana and hold on, let's see.
We did Fofana and
it's like we definitely did Fofana. We did Fofana and Trev Chalobah, who also made a mistake that game.
Yeah, exactly. I really think it's Chalobah and Tosin. I mean, they're just not at the caliber needed. They simply are not. Tosin's old enough as well, and it's like if that's your ceiling, that's not good enough. I think Hato's too young to be in that position. Both of those goals were off of his errors. And Tosin hasn't done anything, in my opinion, to deserve that starting spot.
Facts.
I think Achimpong, I think this is why I don't really trust Maresca with these substitutions, because it's like your players get momentum and then you bench them. Meaning Achimpong gained momentum from that Crystal Palace game, from having to come on in Liverpool and all those things. I don't know if, again, he's injured or resting, but it's like he gains this momentum. He scores a goal against what? Is that
was... It was the game before. It was Sunderland, wasn't it?
He scores a goal. That was the game he won 3-0. I forgot who he played.
He
scores, and then
Forest. He scores that. Yeah,
we're benching him now.
Yeah.
Why? He's just gained his momentum. He's filling into this role. I don't understand playing Hato over Achimpong. They're about the same age. Hato's 19. Achimpong, I think, is 18.
Yeah.
Fofana was decent. For me, I'm probably going to put, based off what I'm seeing, Fofana and Achimpong together.
Yeah, I think that's actually, we see Chalobah and Achimpong on here, but I think that's me too. I think I'm like Fofana, hasn't shown the best, but he hasn't really had a lot of games.
Had costly errors.
Yes, and he hasn't had crazy costly errors. He had an error or two when he played that right back position.
Yeah.
In that game, another game that I can't remember, that I've blocked out of my memory, but I feel like that was the loss against Brighton, where he did that. But
yeah, and I also think like some fans enjoy Hato on the left side as that left side center back because he gives left foot passes, which I guess I can see. I definitely
want to integrate him, but like, first of all, he's a left back replacement. Like if Cucurella is injured, that's where he's going to be.
Which is why I don't know why we put him over Achimpong when Achimpong I don't think has done any wrong. He's honestly stepped up to the plate. He's covered Tosin and Chalobah's back a couple times. And again, he had momentum. My thing is we have a young squad. So don't say you're not going to put them in because they're young.
Right.
Our whole squad is young.
Right.
So why not just let him? He carries the ball up for us as well. And that's something we miss when he's not on the field, to be honest.
100%. Homie Josh, he tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. He said Josh should be starting. No Josh bias. Big facts. Like I don't understand why. Yeah, he definitely deserves.
My thing is after scoring again, he might have picked up an injury a bit. I'm not sure, but why, when players get momentum, do we take them off? Similarly with Esteval in some of his games, it's like, why, when he gets momentum, are we not choosing to start him that next game?
And you're right. That does go back to kind of the Maresca style of things. It's like he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to mess up momentum or stop I don't know what he doesn't want to get them too far ahead and then they get injured or have too much pressure on their shoulders or something like that.
He just plays too safe rather than going all out with your best hitters. He plays a bit safe in some positions.
If we had a full squad, like a full starting lineup, and Esteval was the only kind of new player coming in, or Esteval and Garnacho, and he was doing the substitutions he's doing, like Esteval has a good game, but then he doesn't start him midweek or whatever, like he's doing, it would make sense to me. You're trying to gradually bring these players in. But we don't have, this is the reason we do starter bench. We don't have a squad. We don't know what our best squad is. So play the players who are playing the best. I agree with you on that. Man, you're slowly, as we talk about this, you're shifting me to like, wait a minute, should I be questioning Maresca? I don't know.
I think
don't know.
questioning him is reasonable. Again, am I ready to sack him? No, but I think questioning him is reasonable considering we're very inconsistent and considering the lineup changes every time where you and I we send it to each other and we're like, okay, like all right.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna take time, but obviously we need something to be standard. We need to be like, I want to be like, man, our players aren't performing, but our coach is doing everything he can. Or I want to be like, our players are, busting their ass. Like maybe we need to start looking like it's got to be something. I just want to shout out top of the morning to Just Fez, who's topped in, my boy Jordan, Chelsea Blue. He says the Minty link's not working, the one I have pinned in the chat. So I just want you guys to know, just go to menti.com and you can type in those numbers. For some reason, maybe clicking the link doesn't work, and we'll figure that out soon. But 5166-3454 is the thing, and you can tap in on the vote with us right here. We're going to move on to center defensive midfielders first and foremost, before we go to your next topic. I just want to know at this point, and I've thrown Reece James and Malo Gusto in there as well, but like, who are our best two to start? Do we just kind of go back to the drawing board? Is it just Caicedo and Fernandez, and it will be that until we find something that actually works better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's going to be. Yeah, just because I'm not really sold on Andre Santos, to be honest. Again, I'm kind of playing in the Carabao Cup or something, but I don't know. I'm not sold on him starting in the Champions League games, to be honest.
I agree with you. What about these? We've played really well against the Liverpools of the worlds and Tottenham as well, starting somebody like Reece James in the midfield. I think against Liverpool we put Malo Gusto in the midfield. How do you feel about that strategy from your boy Maresca?
So I actually don't mind Gusto on right back. I think he's got really good pace for us. So I think that's a great option if the other team has really fast wingers. Having Gusto there, I think he does well defensively. Putting Reece in the middle, like, I don't know, he looks a little bit out of sorts right now. I think because he's not playing that spot consistently, which again goes into like maybe the lack of chemistry, the lack of understanding with Maresca is like, when do you want to play James? Like, I do like Gusto. I really do. I think he's fast. I think with Reece, we get that creativity that we're lacking because we don't have Palmer right now. So with Reece, we're going to get those longer balls and stuff. But with Gusto, we'll get more pace. But putting him alongside Caicedo, I don't know. I don't think there's great chemistry there this season.
I will say they almost operate in silos in that pivot. When I see Reece in that midfield, I'm just such a fan of Reece that I kind of go, I'm fine. Like, as long as he's on the field. The two things I like about Reece in that midfield is when we kind of push up into the attack, he's one of the players on the edge of the box, and we know he can shoot the ball. Like, have you ever been in that position where you're just kind of like, Enzo's never going to shoot. He's always going to kind of fake and either cross it far post or kind of swing it around the edge of the box. We know Caicedo will shoot here and there.
Yeah, Enzo, to be fair, in the last game, he had quite a few shots.
Okay.
But if we're talking about someone who's going to always shoot consistently, we know James
or who can score from that position too. Because you're right, Enzo did have quite a few shots, and I don't trust him to hit. I don't trust him to hit the ocean with a quarter. Like, shoot the ball. Yeah, but Reece he had quite a few turnovers in the Tottenham game. To be honest, probably just a bad game. Yeah. Which isn't really the best timing when there's like this controversial take if you're the best right back in the world. So maybe not the game to have when everybody is trying to say Timber is better than you. Everybody's seeing Jed Spence run up the flank.
Right. Yeah. Maybe not the game to have when Spence is on his A game and there's controversy over us backing you.
Right. I will say that we kind of handled Spence. We actually handled that whole Tottenham team. Obviously, they got.
I think Spence was their best player, though.
He was their best. It was him and maybe Kudus, who were the only players who could possibly do anything against us, and they really did nothing. I mean, it's one of our few clean sheets.
And I guess that went down as like one of their worst games like ever.
There it is. So Mr. Welcome to the Penitentiary, he got locked up too. He had to, and they even had to switch flanks for him. He switched from the right side to the left side. So yeah. I think we did maybe offensively well against him. Reese, he was
Which
kind of
is
in
so
the
funny
midfield
because
parties.
I guess Simmons got like player of the match for their game in this week in Champions League. I'm like,
Oh,
over Van de Ven, over his goal. I thought that was crazy.
yeah, that is crazy. What a goal, by the way, running
I
all the way
know,
up. We've seen
probably
him.
they're
He
saying
does that
goal of
once
the
every
year.
year. Yeah, 100%.
And
But
I agree right now.
goal of the year in Champions League already?
To take it from your
I know. But
as a center
that's
defender.
literally Van de Ven's like top quality, his only quality.
I know.
Let me just sprint. But to finish off with Reece James, I think Reece James is still the best right back in England when he's absolutely healthy. And
let's play him right back.
And let's play him at the right back. That's exactly where I'm at. Like if you want to throw Malo Gusto in and get some speed and some disruption in the midfield,
as
fine, whatever.
Second kind of winger in that way. Okay.
Yeah. But at this point and with our current lineup, it's got to be Caicedo and Enzo. I think the survey says it all. Like, let's just.
And they even they're on the FIFA. They're on the FIFA list.
They're on the FIFA list. One of the top pairings. The top
I know they're on the
center
FIFA list.
midfield
and
pairings.
Guess what? None of our defenders are on the FIFA list. By the way,
of course not. Well, what do you do at this point? Like we know what we are lacking. Do we
have
just
to sell and then we have to buy? We're not going to buy if we can't sell. So we shouldn't expect as fans, we shouldn't expect a defender this transfer window if we're not selling or putting someone on loan.
I hear that.
We shouldn't expect that.
Are you wanting to do that this January transfer window coming up? Are you wanting to do that mid-year? You're like, we need a center back. We need we're in win now situation.
Unless we can get up the table, because you figure it's about to be December soon. So it really depends on where we're at by the holidays. But yeah, I would say we should start looking, but we're going to have to put people on loan. It's going to have to be like Jackson, meaning we're going to have to loan them out if we want someone.
Yeah.
We're just going to add to. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it maybe in the future. Let's take a look at like what center backs could be available, like who we could bring in to actually like stop this bleeding again halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Let's move on to center midfields, and then we'll pop up your kind of question toward this. But center attacking midfielders, again, we João Pedro, we've seen the most now featuring in that spot. We have
since Delap's healthy.
Since Delap came back. Even though he hasn't really played, it's been like.
No, I know that was a whole other thing, man. Like he's got a nonchalant style as well, very similar to Palmer, of just kind of like breezy type style.
Yeah.
I would put João since Delap's healthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hear you.
But again, it's so interesting because universally everyone is like, wow, João is such a good 10, but we weren't bringing on a 10. So it's so weird to now switch to that.
And it's funny that you're even there because I'm thinking to the Karabakh game and even the game before that. I'm actually not so convinced that he's such a good 10. I'm like, he needs to be on the field.
I think I made a note that we've been too reliant on him. It happened with Palmer last season as well, where there was just this drought. Yeah. And I think that was because we were too reliant on him. And I think with João right now, you figure we're so reliant on him right now.
Yeah.
In some capacity, whether that's playing the 10 or whether that's playing forward. And I mean, yeah.
I just don't think I don't think his ability at the 10, whether we're relying heavily on it or not, is really impactful. And I think he would be more impactful going up and trying to put the ball in the net. You know what I mean? Like he's not delivering passes and creating so much for us that it's like, man, we really need him at the 10. He's not, he's not, linking play. We see him try to do these like little 1-2s with the strikers, with the midfielders, but he's just not doing enough. And this is over the last 3 or 4 games. I know 3 games ago he scored, and it was like, Oh,
And then
okay.
last game he did score thanks to Caicedo.
And
but
then
yes.
Caicedo got him.
Yeah, he's unfortunately he missed some pretty bad opportunities.
He's missed some sitters. He's missing in that same game that he scored. He had an opportunity one-on-one with the keeper, and he missed. So,
and then people were just talking about like the João Pedro in the Club World Cup would have scored that. So I think I think it's a little drought. Similarly with Palmer, what happened with him? I think we're just too reliant on him. He's having to play a huge role in a lot of these games, and we keep switching that role. So I'll give him that.
And we'll get to Delap, but my personal feelings is Joao is not. I don't want to see him at 10 anymore. I'm fine. I want to curate a real.
You want him as striker?
Yeah, I want him to if we brought him in for striker, he's done his best for the club. Obviously, only in the Club World Cup, but he's done his best playing at that striker position. Obviously, he had Cole Palmer in behind him and some other things happening.
Then who are you putting on the 10 at the 10?
I'm putting Bueno 10. I think he's totally fine. I think he fits the bill. I think he's creative. He can weave in, and he plays hard. We've talked about that a lot too. He plays hard. He goes and if he loses the ball, he'll run back, try to make a tackle. He's undersized, and
did he even start this Champions League game?
He did not. Joao,
which again is concerning. Why are you trying to put out?
We're doing experiments in the back. If you want to experiment in that area. We have 3 available 10s. We can
put same thoughts. Same thoughts. Don't experiment with the back line. It's way easier to experiment up top.
100%. And let me go back to that game because against Karabakh to double check that lineup. But we didn't start Enzo Fernandez. So we had Romeo Lavia and Andre Santos. And then João Pedro in that 10, and I guess that's let's have one more senior player in that 10. But then we started Tyreek George up top, and it's this is the Champions League.
That blew my mind because again, if you're playing João Pedro, why don't you just put him up top and put Buenanote in? And that's my thing of you rate George more than you rate Buenanote.
Right.
I don't know.
Make any sense. So your question was, can Cole Palmer save us? Looking at our 10s now, and I'm interpreting that as, do we win trophies with this same squad if Cole Palmer is healthy and in the squad?
Which is the same question I'm asking.
Yeah. Can Cole Palmer save this squad? Would Cole Palmer save the squad?
I think we should see more goals with him on the field with us.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And something I was going to add on is with Cole Palmer, I think he can play those. He has better vision to play those through balls and connect off of the striker as well. I feel our 10s, after they play the striker, there's not that forward movement to keep going,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so Cole Palmer, unfortunately he'll have to save us.
But can he? That's what I'm worried that Cole Palmer is going to come out. We have so much expectations. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be the reverse, where Cole Palmer, we're going to remember what he adds to this team in terms of just composure. And he's on FIFA.
And he's Ballon d'Or number 8.
Yeah, and he made I'm pretty sure, did he make the World 11?
List.
He made the World 11? No, he didn't make the World 11.
Yeah, he did.
That's right. It was Vitinha, Palmer,
I know,
Pedri, and one other. They had 4 across the midfield.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham was the other one. You're right. We had Jude Bellingham and Cole Palmer in there.
Mm-hmm.
He is that good. FIFA Pro acknowledges it. We all acknowledge it. There it is. Homie Joshi said it. Cole Palmer is him. We need him to come back and save us. Please, Cole. Only a couple more questions. We're going up the field as we pick our starters. Again, I would pick Facundo for even against Wolves this weekend, but we'll see what happens. Pick our left wing. This is another big question for you, Alexis. It is regarding Garnacho.
Mr. Garnacho.
Is it Garnacho in? Is that where we're at right now?
Garnacho is in because why does he need to be out?
Yeah.
He's in because why does he need to be out? His goal versus Sunderland, I thought, was fantastic. That moment got taken away because of how poorly we played. He got us back into the game this week.
Yeah.
And he I made even some more notes. He makes very good runs off the ball. Great passes and shots on goal. He almost had his worldy moment What's that award called that they give for the best goal? What's that award?
The Pichichi
Exactly.
moment.
He almost had that moment again.
Yeah.
In the Champions League game. My thing is, why out? I think he produces enough. He's got more goals than any of our other left wingers.
I'm curious what the chat feels about that too.
And then also, I hyped Garnacho up yesterday.
Yeah, you are gassing Garnacho right now.
And he viewed my story, guys.
Hey,
Garnacho viewed my story.
Alejandro is on your team, Alejandro, right now.
I said, I'm a fan. Don't worry. Garnacho's like, yes.
Now let me provide this devil's advocate, because though I agree with you, he does something anytime he's on the field. You know, he creates danger. We need a senior player on one of those wings. We need a Pedro Neto somewhere. And so, and we already said, like, man, Esteval's been playing so well. Why would we sit at Esteval? Are we saying now that Esteval, is it Esteval or Garnacho, or we were just saying, forget Neto, we want Garnacho on the left and Esteval on the right? That's my question. So
this is where things get tricky. This is where it gets tricky, because I can't see a world where Maresca's benching Neto. I can't see that. Just because of like all he's done for.
Before we get to even what Maresca will do, because we've just questioned Maresca at the top of this, I want to know what you will do. I don't want you to bail out based on what possibly the coach will do. I want you, based Alexis, on the new
where
coach.
The goals are coming. I would probably have right now. I would have Garnacho and Esteval, probably, based on what I am seeing.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I rate Garnacho. I think he works hard. And I think and the thing is, something that this is the season where I think it was either last season or a couple seasons ago, the commentators were on him because they were like, he's got to improve his left foot shot. Both of his 2 goals were left-footed shots.
Left-footed shots.
He did have a fluke in the game, but let's ignore that. But the thing is, everybody wants to focus on that fluke that he did versus the 2 goals. He scored 2 goals with his weaker foot that were absolutely fantastic. Definitely. And I think he's proving himself, to be honest.
If we're talking specifically for this weekend, he certainly deserves to start. He scored a goal in the last 2 games he's featured. Definitely deserves that start. If we're talking overall, he's not quite hit that eye test level for me to be like, this is somebody who has to start in this team all the time. I would like to see him progress more, and that's why I would like to see him start in these games in the Premier League against Wolves. Like, he's played against Wolves before. He's a Prem player. So I'm with you on that, but I am not fully there yet. He is not in my mental absolute starting lineup. I would bring him off the bench, but I would bring him off the bench as like a, kind of a super sub.
I would love if we can bring on our players off the bench sooner. I think that's Maresca's issue, is the timing of bringing on people isn't really making sense to me. So for me, I would love, it would never happen like this, but I would kind of love the wingers to get equal minutes because they all bring on something different.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. Obviously, you were singing Garnacho's praises, but Gittins started last game because Gittins had such a great game in the midweek. So
he did, but again, I think he just showed, like, it's great, the screamer that you scored, it's fantastic, but again, against higher opposition, your performance isn't that high.
It's not that high.
Up against Wolves, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
And then like we see Garnacho come on against start against a Tottenham.
Yeah,
and actually produce. So this stuff is important. We have seen it. We see the step over right, go left, hit it through the keeper's legs. Like, he's scoring goals. That's what we need.
I thought the one this in Champions League, I thought it was fantastic. It's further away too. He looks good.
Champions League was a good goal.
He's in form.
That was more of a target shot. And that's, like you said, left foot. He hit the bottom corner. And then Esteval scored a great goal as well. So yeah, I agree with you. If we're talking just against Wolves this weekend, Esteval on the right, Garnacho on the left. I'm there with you.
Because I think Neto's injured. He didn't travel, so he might be injured anyways. In no way, like, I love Neto. I always back Neto as well.
Yeah.
So It's just tricky. And Esteval, I think he's so creative and vibrant, and I really love that. I would just love to see how we can use him better.
Right.
That makes sense.
100%. Yeah, homie Joshi agrees. Esteval and Garnacho have been heating up. Jordan says Pulisic second coming. I hope not. Not at least not the Chelsea Pulisic. That's a different story. All right. Before we get out of here, Alexis, we have to talk about it. This is the biggest question for me of all your questions, and that is Delap really our number 9? Like, is that a real? Can we depend on him being our number 9? Obviously, he's gotten injured. He had a kind of a slow but encouraging start at the Club World Cup and at the beginning of the season. And
He
now
needs to get minutes underneath him. I need to see something. I need to see what you did at Ipswich. I need to. It was very Jamie Vardy-esque. I need to see that.
Yeah.
I need to see you do that. So I want to see him play. So I think for me, I'm starting him not because of anything he's done thus far, but because I want to see. I want to see what you can bring.
Yeah.
I need to see you play 70 minutes.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I do need to see more as a test. Here's my issue. It's not giving. It ain't giving striker. I put this as like a subheader to your question. Is the Delap our number 9? Number 9s need to be scoring 15 plus goals on championship teams, and probably
it's
plus.
True, plus. But I think if we're gauging the Premier League right now, I mean, a lot of people
outside of Holland, you're right.
Exactly. A lot of people's number 9s aren't doing that. So yes, that is the expectation. But again, when you have a manager like Maresca, who publicly in the interviews is saying that João Pedro isn't someone who can achieve 20 goals, I don't know what Maresca wants from his strikers. If you're going to publicly say, you guys need to lower your expectations.
Yeah.
That's also some of the things I get questionable about. But Delap, I would love to see what you can bring. But this goes into a lot of things. Like, what is the manager saying to you?
Right. What is the encouragement and the plans for you as a player?
Because if my manager is like, you don't need to score 20 goals, I'm going to be like, wow, okay, cool. Let me just try my best. But like, it's okay if that doesn't happen.
And it's possible he's just media baiting to protect his players too. I do know Maresca. I mean, even with the whole we're not in a title race thing when we were second place last year around this time. It was in order to protect his players because he knew what was going on. For me, though, Liam Delap is not our number 9. It's João Pedro. João Pedro is out of these players, the best of these players. I know, and I feel you, but it's just kind of like, here's the thing. Even on our whole team, João Pedro is a starter, right?
Yes.
When Cole Palmer comes back, how do we displace our starter? What's he going to go? Is he going to go to the wing? Is he going to, you know what I mean? Like, no, go up top. That's what we got you here for. I'm going to ride this horse till the end of the year. I don't want to see João Pedro at the 10 anymore. I want to see you up top, and I want to see Liam Delap coming on in the 60th, 70th minute, competing for that spot, and then show me that. But don't put João Pedro at the 10 and, hodgepodge. Cole Palmer is coming back, y'all.
I want to see Delap starting. I want to see what he did at Ipswich. I want to see that.
I don't think we're ever going to see what he was doing at Ipswich. I don't know. Maybe I know it's a crazy take this early into it, but for me, Delap is nothing more than a striker coming off the bench who
he's wearing the number
pressure.
9. So
but he's wearing
no, my thing is, as the club, when you give someone the number 9, you're saying you're expecting them to start.
100%. That is true.
He has the number
Those are the
9.
expectations.
Exactly. So yeah, I want to see him start. I want to see him start.
Gave him the number 9, gave João Pedro the 21 or something, and
João's 20. But yeah. No, I want to see what Liam Delap can do. I think he can bring what he did at Ipswich. He's got to turn it on. And yeah.
Against Wolves, I'm gonna go with you again. If we're talking about just this weekend, I would love to see Garnacho, Esteval, Delap up top. Put João Pedro in the 10 right now, just because, again, I think João Pedro needs to start. But if I'm talking about our team going forward, I need to see João Pedro up top. I need to see Cole Palmer back in the middle. And if he's not yet, then I want to see Boanote. Like, I think Boanote deserves to be in this in the fold a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has to happen.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye out for you for this. But I just want you to know that I'm still Maresca in. I'm kind of like Delap. You have to show more. You have to come off the bench and show it, because you don't deserve to start. Shit, you came on back from injury. We've been missing you for 3 months, and you get a red card immediately. Then you drop a stinker the next game you're available. Like,
it's just the same guy who backs Nico Jackson.
I'm a Nico Jackson through and through. Bring my boy back. Bring back Nico. It's not happening, but you're right. That's where I'm at right now, y'all. That's what I'm at. Look, homie Joshi, he says João Pedro will be at the top when Cole Palmer comes back, so he might as well be up top right now. That's just my thinking on it, Alexis, but we gonna see. We hope. We can only hope. But this weekend, this is the last thing I'll do, because this is our survey. But I just want to show you our team selection from playing Wolves in the Carabao Cup. We played Wolves in the Carabao Cup, and we did okay against them. We won 4-3. 3 goals is way too much to be conceding, in my opinion. But we made it do what it do. And guess who got a goal in that game? None other than Tyreek George up top. We have players. That was the game.
If you want to go based off of Carabao Cup,
hey, it's the same teams. It's the same teams, different lineups, but the same teams. Wolves. That was Wolves' best lineup.
Well, yeah, so. Wolves is bottom of the table. I think they are last place right now.
They're close. They're for sure. If not last, they're bottom.
I don't think that's a good barometer at all.
Yeah, man, that's tough. Yeah, they're currently sitting.
No, I don't want to see George. I don't want to see George. No, he needs to be the 80th minute.
Yeah. I again for Premier League,
not the first minute, the 80th.
Yeah, the 80th for Premier League. You're right; they are absolute dead last. Wolves.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to. I don't want to glorify that performance.
Glorify getting 3 scored on us in the Carabao Cup. I'm with you. So of this, you're not starting George. You're not starting Gittins, even though Gittins did so well against them. You're starting Garnacho for sure.
100%.
100%. That would be an interesting one. That's going to be a really interesting one to see what Maresca does, because as a manager, you do factor in
Gittins, no goals in the Premier League. Garnacho, only I guess technically only
one goal. One goal, and
doing more, to be honest, for me.
He's doing more. I hear you. You guys, y'all let us know what y'all think, but this seems about right. From me, at least João Pedro need to be up top. But that's just what I'm going to say. Maresca out. I'm not quite there.
If he's going to miss the shots that he did the last game, I don't want you up top.
Oh, yikes. You're
not going to be selfish on some of those chances. I don't want you up top.
I don't want you up top.
No.
We are still on the search for center backs, a striker, the right wingers. We're searching for everything on Starter Bench. So every week is it's a mystery box. There's more coming. Alexis, is a great show. I appreciate you tapping in. I appreciate everybody on on Instagram and on YouTube tapping in. This is Starter Bench, y'all. We're doing this every Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Come tap in. Make sure you follow us. We have a new Instagram page we want to shout out.
We
do. Come find us. We're the Blue Ballers. We are we're at maybe I should type it in for you guys. We are at on Instagram at Start or Bench. Let me put a capitalize on it real quick to make it sexy. Start or Bench CFC. Tap in with us. That's where you'll find us on Instagram. We're going to be posting a lot of our thoughts and more of these live stream coming. Give me your score prediction. Wolves, Chelsea. Bottom of the table team. What are we doing?
Has to be 3-0. Has to be.
I have no faith in our center back, so I'm going to go ahead and say 4-1. I was about to say 4-2, but maybe with the right kind of offense.
And also, the thing I want to end with is it is actually very refreshing that we haven't really talked about Sanchez much because he hasn't really hurt us too much. So that is also a big improvement and refreshing that
Alexis,
we don't really talk about him much.
We'll talk about him next show for sure because I want you to pay specific attention. Give my man his flowers. It's not that he hasn't hurt us. He hasn't put a foot wrong since the last time.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm telling you, my boy Bob Sanchez, aka my cousin, my twin hairline brother, my boy Bald Bob Sanchez is doing his job right now, Alexis. So of all the people we've talked about, even the manager we're questioning, I cannot question him. Bob Sanchez has done everything he needs to do.
Agreed.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay.
Some other predictions: 2-1 Chelsea. SV says Chelsea don't win this season of PL football. SV, we gonna see. It's still a long season ahead. I appreciate
SV with the wave.
SV with the wave. SV. I appreciate everybody who's tapped in. Again, make sure to tap in with us on Instagram, our new account, Starter Bench CFC on Instagram, and we will be back next week. Pay attention to two things up top tomorrow. We want what each striker is doing. So João Pedro or Liam Delap, even though João is most likely going to play in the 10. Okay. And I also want you to pay attention to these center backs. They're all liabilities. And for you specifically, Alexis, I just want you to pay attention to Bob Sanchez. Give a specific highlight to Bob Sanchez because I want to hear you either singing his praises or telling us the truth next week. We're going to see.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody who's tapped in. It's us, the Blue Ballers, Alexis and Matt, always giving you what's new and
what's blue.
We will holler at y'all next week. Starter Bench.